Hey there, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode, which is episode 1 of Woke Motherhood. Yay! But anyway, okay, back to the YouTube video. So I wanted to put together a video series because I've had a couple of different YouTube channels in the past. However, none of them really dealt with the issues that mothers have. I've done a couple entrepreneurship shows. I've done a show based around like mental health and maternal health, which I'll be talking about here as well. But I really wanted to do something to help women and help mothers particularly deal with motherhood and how to help you get through the hood, right? As a mom, motherhood, of course. So I'm really going to tackle a question that I saw actually in a Facebook group. And it's one of those questions that we don't feel comfortable really asking someone else, right? It's one of those questions that we feel like we're going to be judged, or people are going to look at us like, differently, or they're going to feel as though we're not a good mom, or so on and so forth. So a lot of people really shy away from asking this question. And the question was, what do you do when you don't feel a connection to the baby, when you're pregnant and you don't feel a connection to your baby, right? And I thought it was really important because number one, and maybe that you're dealing with a bit of depression. You may be dealing with postnatal depression. And a lot of people don't talk about depression during pregnancy a lot. So I wanted to do this video because I wanted to let you know, first and foremost, that you're not crazy. Second, that it's very normal to have those feelings. I've actually experienced and have those feelings as well. So during my 6th pregnancy, baby number 6, when I found out I was pregnant, I was actually going back to school to get my bachelor's degree. I was starting a business, or I had a nonprofit. I was starting a business. I'm sorry, I didn't start the nonprofit until after I had a baby, but I was looking at starting a business. I was like going back to school, everything seemed to be going well. Financially, we were doing okay. So it seemed like we had really hit a plateau and a place in a space where I felt comfortable. And I was like, I'm cool. I didn't want to share my body anymore. Like I was even saying like, I am good. I don't want to have any more kids. I don't want to share my body ever again. I'm good. Like I've contributed to the earth. I'm good. But then I found out I was pregnant with baby number 6, and it crushed me. I was like, oh, there's no way. I need to get an abortion. I cannot have this baby right now. I am busy. I am going after my career. It's now my turn. And, I'm not doing this. So I came to terms with it. And and for me, having an abortion is not an option. For a lot of people, maybe it is an option. However, at that time, I was definitely considering, like what my life would be like if I were to have another kid. And I felt like I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it, so on and so forth. And so I decided, of course, after speaking with my husband, we decided, yes, we're going to keep the child. It wasn't the child's fault. Oh, no, whatever your feelings are, those are your feelings about all that good stuff. But I'm just telling you the way that I felt. So the way that I felt, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what? I just have to deal with it. So a little bit into the pregnancy, in about 6 or 7 months or so, 6 or 7 months of pregnancy, I really had I felt like there was a disconnect between myself and the baby. And I felt like, I don't know if I could do this. I felt like I don't even want it. Like, I don't want the baby. How could it just be happening to me right now? How could God do this to me? Like, I've already had 5 kids. I've already kind of been through, being, in a place in the space where I didn't have money and, all that good stuff. So I was really feeling a disconnect. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't feel happy like I felt with the other ones. I don't feel like, like I made the right choice. And, he did the best he could to, kind of cuddle me and all that good stuff. But I really felt a disconnect. So she came out, and really I felt a disconnect for quite a while. And then towards the pregnancy, kind of after, because I had a baby shower with all my kids. I don't know, some people say you're not supposed to have a baby shower after baby number 1 or 2, but I had it with all of them. I feel like it's a celebration, and it's a new life that's coming into the world, so on and so forth. So I had the baby shower, and then I started to feel a little bit better because I felt the support. And I think really what I was missing, it wasn't necessarily that I didn't feel a real connection to the baby. It was that I was feeling like I wasn't going to be supported if I were to have a child. And I was looking for that support system. So once that kind of came into play, I ended up having baby number 6. And when she came out, she was a complete and utter diva. And here she is. And this is baby number 6. And so she came out and she was screaming her head off. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. You know, so I cried for like the first like 2 months or so after having her. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And then I had that moment where she looked up at me and she smiled. And to that day, I mean, like after having her and her being here, she is the one, she's the kid that comes to me and goes, here, mommy, lay down. It's time for you to lay down with me. Mommy, stop working. It's time for you to lay down with me. She's the one that pulls me and tells me, mommy, it's going to be okay. You know, she's that individual. She's that spirit. So I want to tell every woman out there that if you feel as though you have that moment where you don't feel like you have a connection to the baby that's growing inside of you for whatever reason, it may not be that you don't have that connection, or it may not be that the feelings that you're having is that you don't like the kid or you made a mistake, so on and so forth. The feeling may just be that you need more support around you. You need to find more people that support you. You need to watch YouTube was big back then, but I didn't really watch it as much as I do now. But find some YouTube videos that are uplifting and inspiring and motivational, and get around individuals, because a child coming into the world is not a burden. A child coming into this world is actually a gift. It is the ultimate gift that you could ever give to yourself and the earth. And I think for so many African-American women, we hear all the time, oh, you're having another baby. Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, like it's some type of burden, when the child is actually the gift given to you by God. God is giving you this gift and telling you, hey, I want to put life in you so that you can create life and put life on earth, so that that life can then go on to flourish and become something that's great. So I wanted to record this video because I feel like, and I know for sure, there are other women who are out there who may feel like they don't have a connection with their baby. Like, you know, like I felt like, oh my gosh. And then I felt like a horrible person, like the worst person, the worst parent in the world for even having those feelings. And it's not that. The feeling is not actually that you don't have a connection. The feeling is that you're hurt. You may be going to depression. You know, you may not be able to access either happy feelings at that moment in time. And that has a lot to do with hormones and balances and all that good stuff. That has nothing to do with the baby themselves. So what I would say to any woman out there, just to give you next steps, is to take your time, deep breathe, you know, find a place in a space, and know that your child is coming into this world for a reason, and reason being, you probably need that individual. You need that individual in your life. I heard someone say this one time, we usually abort the one blessing, the one thing that's coming into our life as a blessing, right? Well, a lot of people look at children as a crutch or as an expense or so on and so forth. Are you gonna be living? Are you gonna be living on this earth? Are you gonna be here anyway? Then why not be fruitful, right? The whole bottom line of it is, once the seed is created, it's there for a reason, right? Of course, there's all these things that you can put in place to make sure the seed doesn't get there, and I've done that. But you know, usually if you are blessed, and if you know, thinking about the journey that a sperm cell has to go through to even reach an egg, you know. Usually they're there for a reason, right? And you are the vehicle and a vessel to deliver that reason, to deliver that spirit. And like I was saying, I think I stopped at the quote. The quote that I wanted to quote you, or quote this person, I can't remember who said it, but the quote said that you usually abort the one thing that's coming into you, the one blessing that is coming into your life to save you. So you abort your blessing, you get rid of your blessing because of what other people, you know. There are resources, there are support systems, so on and so forth. And I mean, let's just take it back to the act in itself. You should only be laying down and having relations with someone that you can trust and someone that you are connected to. And Devon Franklin talks a bit about that in his book, The Wait. So, I mean, I would recommend The Wait for anyone out there who maybe, if you are out, I don't know if you're watching this, you're probably pregnant already, but you know, after this child comes, what are the next steps? You know, if you've made the misfortune, if you've had the misfortune of laying down with someone who you shouldn't have, you know, maybe you've gone down that road. I'm raising my hand, ask me how I know, right? I have gone down that road. Then after this child is born and after you create an environment where you yourself are stable, you have the support systems and everything, you can do this. You can be a mother to your child. You can go on to have a great, wonderful relationship with someone that you love and then have another child, so on and so forth. It can happen. However, you need to take some time back, because you should not be laying down with anyone that you don't want to have a baby with, that you don't want to have, you know, because that's what it's about, right? A lot of people throw around sex and relationships as though it's just something that you're just supposed to do. You just do it for fun. But really, truthfully, you're supposed to do it with the person that you love. You are sharing your body. You are sharing your mental space. You are sharing your bodily fluids. You're sharing who you are as a person. You're sharing that energy and you're giving of yourself to another individual. You should not give of yourself to someone who isn't going to value it and who isn't worthy of it, who you can't see yourself living with 4, 5, 20, 30 years from now. So with all that being said, I went on a bit of a tandem, but know that this too shall pass. The feeling that you may be having, that you may be experiencing, may be just misplaced emotion. So know that it will pass. And once your beautiful baby comes out, you will have everything that you truly desire. And who knows, this individual, this little human being that you barely even know, this piece of you, because they are a piece of you. You know, each one of my kids, I say they took a little piece of my heart. They all have, because I gave them life. Along with the other person, my husband, of course, I gave them life. So they each individually have a little piece of me. So know that it will pass. This feeling will pass. And once you have this child, this baby could be the blessing that you've been waiting for, that you've been asking for, that you've been praying for, that you have been, you know, calling out to the gods to help you for, right? To God to help you for. So with all that being said, I hope this was useful and helpful to you. I will definitely be posting more videos up on this channel. I made this channel just for you, for us moms. So hope you enjoy it. And I hope that you can understand that you are a vessel to bring great things into the world. And you are beautiful yourself. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let anyone else tell you anything otherwise. All right? Because God has already determined that for you. And your baby is not a burden. They're a gift, and they're a gift to this world. And if we don't continue to have babies, then the world will not continue to flourish on. We are gift givers. That's what we are. See you guys all later. Talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And please subscribe and like this video. Share it out with anyone that you know who may be pregnant, because you never know if they're having if they are having these feelings or not. And I want everyone to know that those feelings are completely normal. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you are a bad parent, anything. As you can see, I have living proof. Bye. Have a great night.